Congressman Gomez, thank you so much for speaking with Voice of America.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's been a year since President Trump took office. How do you think he's doing as President of the United States?
I personally think he's doing pretty terrible. And the reason why is that he came in, and I think people had hopes that he would move away from his campaign rhetoric and really start focusing on fixing the problems of the country and bringing people together. And what you ended up seeing is him just doubling down on his rhetoric from the campaign that's very divisive in nature. And you know what? You got to give him credit. He's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He tried to repeal or replace Obamacare, implemented immigration policies that are taking away status from legal residents for DACA recipients, TPS recipients. He's trying to get his money for his border wall. You name it, he's actually fulfilling his campaign promises. I think Democrats hoped that he would take a different path, really focus on unity versus division, love over hate, and then country over party, but he's done exactly the opposite. So I'm a Democrat, but I don't believe he's doing a very good job, even if he was a member of my own party, God forbid, but I don't think he's doing a good job whatsoever.
One of his most controversial policies are the immigration policies, and like you were mentioning, one of the biggest campaign promise was that he wanted to build a border wall along the U.S.-Mexico border and have Mexico pay for it. In your opinion, why is this such a bad idea?
Well, first, our country is a country of immigrants, right? It's a country that's really is known as where people from all over the world, no matter where you're from, no matter the color of your skin, no matter the God you worship, that if you come here, you believe in our ideals, you work hard, and you abide by the rules, that then you can be an American, right? My parents, everybody else's parents who's come here or themselves. So he's just going against it. A border wall just doesn't work, right? We built up the border along California, where I live, and that hasn't stopped much of the immigration, right? Or the undocumented immigration. So one of the things is that it doesn't work. It's a big waste of money. $20 billion that can be used for healthcare, housing, all sorts of different things. And then the Border Patrol themselves, they don't want a wall. They want a wall in some places, but not across the whole southern border. They want more money for electronic surveillance, getting early detection systems so that they know when somebody's crossing. But they don't really want a border wall. It's a waste of money.
President Trump just rolled out his immigration proposal last week. In it, he was asking $25 billion for the border wall in exchange for about 1.8 million DACA dreamers and also undocumented immigrants, a path to citizenship. And also he will cut legal immigration quota, including canceling the visa lottery program and limit family sponsorship to just spouses and minor children. What do you think about this proposal?
I think it's completely goes against what our immigration system is about, right? It's not about picking and choosing people from the countries that you prefer, right? It's about allowing people to reunify with their families. Because we know that immigrants that come here and they have a family network do better in the long term. So I'm totally against his proposal. I think it's legislative extortion, where he's trying to use the status of DACA recipients, who are both from Latin America as well as different Asian countries. One of the fastest groups that signed up were Koreans that were living in my district. So the people under DACA vary, right? And he's trying to hold them hostage in order to extract, I think, what I consider xenophobic immigration policies. So I'm not in favor of any changes to their immigration system that moves away from family-based reunification or gets rid of the lottery visa system. I think that those served a purpose. Since 1965, that's what our immigration system was built on, family reunification. So this benefits Latin Americans, Asians, Chinese, Koreans, you name it. It doesn't pick. And what it does, it gives everybody the opportunity to bring one of their loved ones over. And I think that's the way it should work.
Your district is one of the most diverse districts in the United States. It includes Chinatown, Koreantown, Little Tokyo. What are these East Asian immigrants, aside from the immigration policies that they are concerned about under the Trump administration?
Yeah, you know, and historic Filipino town. Most people that I represent pretty much every group under the sun. They're concerned about the same issues as everybody else. You know, healthcare is a big issue, as well as jobs and trade, housing, transportation, you name it. Everything that people really care about, as well as the environment. Environmental issues are a big deal. In California, we've been able to clean up our air, which was one of the dirtiest in the country, over the last 30 years because we've taken steps to do that. And it's created new industries, you know, where electric cars are being driven, new electric buses, solar panels, you name it. It's kind of created this new economy. There's more solar panel jobs in California than there is coal jobs in the entire United States. And that's one of the things that people forget, is that cleaning up your economy is also good for business.
Speaking of environmental protection, you have been a long advocate for protecting the environment. One of the biggest and most controversial policies that President Trump decided to do after he took office was to pull out the Paris Climate Change Accord. What is your thought on that?
I think it's short-sighted when it comes to a variety of things. First, you know, U.S. leadership on globally on a variety of issues. When we kind of pull back, we allow other countries to step in and show that leadership space, where the United States is no longer having the role that we once did. So I think when it comes to U.S. leadership, it's one of the examples of our pulling back that kind of sends the wrong message to the global community. At the same time, climate change is one of the big issues that is impacting, you know, every country around the world, as well as their economies, right? You have more severe weather patterns, right? From droughts in California and Australia and different parts of the globe, to hurricanes and you know, flash floods, you name it. Things that we haven't seen in a long time we're experiencing, and there's economic damage. You know, the hurricanes that hit Texas, Florida, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, the fires that we've seen in California, countless billions of dollars that are impacting our states because of those extreme weather patterns. So we're sending the wrong message, and everybody recognizes it. California, you know, was a leader in new technologies and cap and trade, reducing greenhouse gas emissions. He basically told the world by leaving that we don't believe in climate change, and we don't believe in our role as leaders on that issue.
Chinese New Year is around the corner.
Yes.
Is there any message you would like to send to our audience in China, and also maybe your East Asian or Asian constituents?
You know, I represent Chinatown, and we always have an amazing Chinese Lunar New Year parade, and I learned Gong Hei Fat Choi as one of the sayings. I know my Chinese needs a little help.
No, it's very, very good. No, it's absolutely perfect pronunciation.
But you know, just a prosperous new year. Hopefully that, you know, what I believe is, even though we had a tough year, I always believe in the next, and things will get better as long as we have an open mind and understand that we're part of a broader global community. So I just want to wish everybody, your viewers, a happy Chinese New Year.
Thank you so much, Congressman. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.